heart of St. Francisville, Louisiana. The Myrtles Plantation stands draped in a veil of Spanish moss, its white columns and wide porches like the face of an aging aristocrat. Proud, yet hiding secrets deep in its bones. The warm, heavy night air clings to the skin, and the cicadas sing a restless hymn. Beneath it all, an uneasy silence lingers, as though the land itself is holding its breath. Locals call it one of America's most haunted homes. Over the centuries, it has collected tales of murder, betrayal, and restless spirits. For those who visit, the line between folklore and truth quickly blurs. Here, every shadow has weight, and every creak might be more than the settling of old wood. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, the plantation was meant to be a symbol of prosperity. Yet from the beginning, tragedy rooted itself in its soil. Families who lived here would see their joy interrupted by sudden deaths, illness, and violent ends. Among the most enduring legends is that of Chloe, an enslaved woman owned by Judge Clark Woodruff. Rumor has it she feared being sent to the fields and would eavesdrop on family conversations. Caught once, she was punished, her ear cut, forcing her to wear a green turban for the rest of her life. The story says Chloe baked a cake laced with oleander leaves, hoping to sicken the family just enough to earn their sympathy. Instead, the judge's wife and 2 children died. Within days, Chloe was seized by the other slaves, hanged, and thrown into the Mississippi River. Whether Chloe's tale is fact or fabrication, her name clings to the plantation like the moss to its oaks. And those who walk the grounds at night claim she still lingers, watching. The most famous image tied to the Myrtles is a photograph taken in 1992. Meant to capture the side of the house during renovations. When developed, the picture revealed a shadowy female figure, dressed in 19th century clothing, standing between 2 buildings. The proportions were uncanny, not quite solid, yet not transparent. Paranormal experts analyzed the photo, unable to find evidence of tampering. Guests over the years have spoken of seeing the same figure. She appears in mirrors for a fleeting second, her eyes fixed and unblinking. She is said to stand at the foot of beds in the early hours before dawn, her face expressionless under the folds of her turban. One woman, staying alone in the magnolia room, awoke to find a figure by the window. The green fabric of the turban caught the moonlight, and then, as the guest gasped, the figure dissolved into the air, leaving the room colder than before. Death was a constant visitor to the Myrtles. The plantation's history is filled with the loss of children, some to illness, others under more mysterious circumstances. Today, those who stay in the old nursery speak of phantom sounds. The soft patter of bare feet on the wooden floor, the rustle of small hands against the bed frame, and the quiet sobbing of unseen voices. The sound comes from the corner of the room, though no one stands there. One couple, staying overnight, swore they awoke to the weight of something small climbing onto their bed. The sensation was unmistakable. Tiny knees pressing into the mattress, a child curling up at their feet. When the woman reached down, her hand met only cold air. The crying began seconds later and didn't stop until morning. Not all deaths here were silent. In 1871, William Winter, who owned the plantation, was shot on the front porch. According to local legend, he staggered inside, climbing the grand staircase in search of help. On the 17th step, he collapsed and died. That 17th step has never been quiet since. Many visitors report hearing the sound of boots on the stairs, slow, uneven steps climbing upward, before stopping abruptly. Paranormal investigators have captured electronic voice phenomena on the staircase, faint pleas for help buried in the static. Even in daylight, standing on that exact step seems to bring a drop in temperature. Guides often pause their tours there, letting the silence stretch, allowing visitors to decide for themselves if the air feels wrong. The Myrtles Plantation is alive with movement that should not be. Chandeliers sway without wind. Pianos play a single note in the middle of the night. The air will suddenly shift from warm and humid to cold enough for breath to mist. Some say it is not just Chloe or William Winter or the children who remain here, but every soul that has ever suffered on this land. The building, with its wide halls and shuttered windows, seems to inhale and exhale with a slow, patient rhythm, as if the house itself remembers. Historians debate the truth of the legends. Skeptics point to exaggerations and folklore. Yet the deaths are real, the tragedies are real, and the stories, told by people decades apart with no connection to one another, remain eerily consistent. For those who dare to spend the night, the Spanish moss outside the windows sways as though in greeting. But listen closely, and you may hear something else. The low, steady whisper of a house that has never truly let go. If you think this story is over, think again. Darkness doesn't end, it waits. And the next one might be closer than you think. Subscribe before it finds you first.